Hola! April Yvette Thompson here. So I'm a little humid here today, but I'm still here with you, running in the house. Hi, badass actors! Ooh, my hair look crazy. Okay. How are you, badass actors? I'm going to be looking for some questions from you guys today. I want to congratulate Antoinette and Shona and Melissa for hopping on the 6-week How to Be a Motherfucking TV Actor. Hello. It's going to be an amazing class, culminating an industry showcase for one LA-based CD and one New York-based CD or manager agent team. So it's going to be a very exciting class. Hillary Ward and I are teaching, and I'm very psyched to have sort of a New York and an LA collaboration happening, because I've had so many questions like that about should I move to LA, should I not move to LA, and what I want you to understand is that most stuff you get put on tape for. Hillary and I book stuff on TV. Hillary's a recurring on Sharp Objects, which will be on television this fall, and most of the stuff we book is on tape. So really it's about having a powerful team and having a flawless on-camera technique, like flawless, because you're only ever going to get this material the night before, like, or the morning of. And mostly that's because television is a kind of medium where anything can happen. The script's always changing. It happens really, 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 really fast. I mean, lots of shows, particularly popular ones, are shooting 20 episodes a season. That's a lot of work. If you look at the good old days of HBO, 6 Feet Under and Weeds, and you're talking about 10, 12 episodes per season. Primetime is doing 20. Can you imagine how much work that is? That is a series regulars who are working 15 hours a day, 11 months out of the year. It's hardcore. Their car picks them up at 4 a.m. and it drops them off at home at 11 p.m. It's hardcore. It's super fast. And as a guest star or a recurring, you're there to make the lead look good, which means you're driving the bus a lot of the time. You're doing the heavy lifting and the acting. You're doing the storytelling. You are driving an agenda to get emotional response out of the lead. You are keeping the ball rolling. And a good guest star, a good recurring, is somebody who can come in and deliver a performance with lines they got 5 minutes ago and understand the entire story and help drive the story so that the principal, the star of the show, can respond and have a fantastic performance. That's your job as a guest star. That's also your job as like a supporting series regular. You are there to support the largest story, and the larger story has a hero, which is the lead of the show. So you're there to tell their story. Plus, TV changes super, super fast. Depending on how last week's ratings went, the writer may rewrite the whole script that you just got. And the script that you actually speak the lines from that end up on set, that end up on the episode, are never the lines you got in the script that was handed to you, that was emailed to you the night before. It's often the script that's handed to you while you're in the makeup chair, at the end of getting your makeup on, 2 minutes before you have to go into rehearse. And rehearsal on TV, for theater people who are like, I'm going to rehearsal. In theater, we rehearse for 3 weeks. TV, you rehearse for exactly the length of the scene, 2 minutes, done. And then you shoot the scene. And you're expected to be letter perfect because they got 20 episodes to shoot. And the series regular, the principal of the show, has shot 20 episodes, and he's working 15-hour days for the last 6 months. And he has walking pneumonia and asthma, and he's exhausted. It's all on you. And they don't have time for you to make mistakes, right? So TV is hardcore, man. And the reason that you get stuff so last minute, and I'm not talking about a little bit, I'm talking about 20 pages. 7 o'clock tonight for an audition tomorrow at 11 a.m. And you still got to read the script, and you got to watch the latest episodes of the show so you know where they are in the story. And you're supposed to be letter perfect. Letter perfect. The struggle is real. And without a technique, you're just like a sitting duck. And I think especially if you're coming from theater, I have really bad news for everybody. What they taught you in graduate school is of no use in the television and film world that we work in now. What they taught you in that acting program in New York City, or that you were going through for the last 2 or 3 years, is of no use to you in the world of television and film that we work in right now. None at all. The process for preparation is nothing like what you get in those acting programs. First of all, you're dealing with theater scenes. You got 3 or 4 days to prepare. You got to rehearse with a partner. That's not the reality of this world. You're also not going to audition in the classroom like you've been doing in these programs. You're going to audition in a tiny, 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 tiny little room with a little tiny, tiny camera right here, and you have to create the reality of an entire world. And you have 36 seconds to do that, going through the scene. Yeah, that you just got. Yeah, or maybe you didn't even get the script, right? If it's a new series, if it's a pilot, they don't give you a script. Many times they make you sign an NDA so that you can't tell what the story's about. So mostly they don't give you a script. Yeah, it's real. So you're walking into a world that professionally you've not been trained for, and that you don't get rehearsal in. So where are you going to get rehearsal? Anybody can answer. Y'all can write comments, whatever. Where are you going to get rehearsal? You're going to get rehearsals in a class or with a coach. Now, people talk to me about money and blah, 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 blah. Let me run some numbers past you right now. I don't care where you're working right now. If you're living in your mama's basement, if you're getting auditions, you best get your ass to a coach. I'm not like Hillary. Hillary's like, love and peace, and we should all. I'm like, no. I'm here to tell you that if somebody is trying to give you a job for $25,000, I expect a $25,000 audition. Sorry, that's how it goes. There are 12 people on the other side of that camera watching that audition. There are the executives, producers of the show. They're the executives from the network. They're the director. They're associate producers of the show. They're the showrunner. They might even be some of the freaking sponsors from Coca-Cola who are paying for advertising time on the show that you're going to guest star in. Those people have millions of dollars riding on that episode. They do not have time for you to get it. You know that thing that you learn in school where they're like, don't hold the sides. Always hold the sides when you audition because people are going to expect a fully realized performance if you're not holding the sides. Hello. In the world of TV that we currently work in, the audition is a fully realized performance. You shouldn't be holding those sides. Those days are over. There are a list of casting directors. I can tell you, Meg Simon, right now, you best not go in her office and not be off book. Just smile. She won't be seeing you again. We do not work in a world in which you can not be off book. We do not work in a world where you can mark up your script and say, this is the action that I'm going to take with this line. You know why? Because what if the series regular or the star of the show gives you a different action? You've memorized your line according to what I'm doing is convincing him here gently, but that's not what he gave you with the text. And I talk about this in some of the other videos. If you memorize lines according to your acting choices, you're done. That's theater. That's not TV. The camera reads that as you anticipating what's being said to you next instead of listening and responding in the moment and allowing the other person to happen to you and allowing your subconscious to work on how you feel about that. The camera is looking to see whatever event is going on in the scene happening to you right now for the first time. You can't act that. Sorry. And if you do act it, it looks like shit on camera. It looks like schmacting. It looks like soap star acting, which is great if you're in soap, but not prime time. With all those cameras moving around you really fast and following you, yeah, it's got to be real. There's too many very large cameras very close to your face, moving at the same pace that you are, and those cameras are looking for you to lie. So TV is a whole nother medium. So for you to think that you're going to work regularly in TV, book a few guest stars a year, which will pay a mortgage. For For you to think that's going to happen without investing in that? Let's talk about why when people say, when I did my solo show, I did the whole thing. I went to theater for 10 years. I did regional theater. I got regional theater credits up my butt. Then I did off-Broadway. I played all the Shakespearean women, and I did my solo show, and I got all these credits up the butt. Working for $400 a week. Well, $80,000 in student loan debt. That was crazy. And nobody was trying to give me a raise. Like, the same off-Broadway theaters was playing $300 a week. Like, 10 years ago, still paying like, $389 a week now. I had no preparation for this world. And then on a fluke, I booked a Law and Order because I was in an off-Broadway play and the casting directors kept seeing the play or whatever, so I went in. And I was on set. I was in the makeup chair for 3 minutes. I was on set for all of 19 minutes. I got a check for $1,300 for that day. And then over the next 6 months, I made $15,000 from 23 minutes of work. That's why you need to pay somebody to coach you. Okay? Because on a TV set, you make more money in 10 minutes than you do working on a play for the entire year. Nobody works for free in TV and film. Like in theater, everybody working for free, like that's honorable, that's crazy. Nobody works for free. People are working for a lot of money on the table. And it's a skill set that's hard and fast, but once you nail it, it's fantastic and it's so much easier than theater. So much easier than theater. So while I was making at this big off-Broadway theater, I will not mention names, but a very prominent theater, $400 a week, I had a coach who I was paying $100-something an hour to teach me how to handle the camera. Because this $400 a week, while I got a New York Times review that's really great, was some bullshit. Because my mama needs a house. Okay? So, I believe, and a financial investor told me once, he said, every decade of your life, starting with 30, you should be making at least as much money as your age. So if you're 30, you need to be making $30,000. If you're 35, you need to be making at least $35,000. If you're 40, you need to be making at least $40,000. If you're in the theater, none of that is happening. In the theater, you're making $20,000 for the next 60 years, a year. Now, my parents are like, I don't know nothing about what you're doing, but common sense says the better that you get at something, the more money you should make every year. Nobody works at a job where there's no growth. Except actors. So I had gotten to the point where I had all these credits and I could deliver a performance, but nobody wanted to pay me the amount of money I'd invested in my training. And how that felt to me as a Black woman in America is like slavery. I was like, you don't value what I spent a lot of money to learn how to do. You don't value that when you hire me to do a reading of a play, you are getting 4 years of Vassar College, an Ivy League education, which allows me to pick up script and text and do analysis in 30 seconds. Then you're paying for another 3 years of Rutgers, where I know how to listen and respond like a motherfucker and can help you finish your play faster. You then go and take all my workshops and readings that I've done for you for free, or for $5 or for $50. And you go get your play produced and you get an option for $15,000. Then you get 6% of the house as the playwright. And I, the actor who didn't get cast in the final production, got nothing. But I lent you my $150,000 education to get it done, right? Value, worth. And as a Black woman from an immigrant family, first generation Caribbean Latino people, they were like, no, people scrub floors for you to go to college. You need to be paid what you're worth. You need your investment to come back to you. And I was like, wow, that can happen in TV. That can happen in TV. It's certainly not going to happen in theater. And I began to resent being constantly asked to work for no money when I was lending so much to a process. I began to feel like people were treating me less than. And that's not a good way to feel. And in TV and film, it can be hard work, but if somebody is paying you a livable wage, it's worth me going without food and eating black beans and rice for 9 months while I paid a coach to coach me every week. Because learning how to audition for the camera is not about, I'm gonna get coached for this series regular and do a slamming audition. That's like saying, okay, I'm gonna run a marathon next month, so this weekend I'm gonna coach with an athletic coach for the weekend so I can run the marathon. Huh? You gotta get that muscle in shape. You're not gonna become great at auditioning for the camera by preparing one audition or seeing a coach once every couple of months whenever you get an audition. You get better at auditioning for the camera by picking up 2 sides every week, learning the 9 times fast technique that I outline in my free on camera class. If you haven't seen it, you need to sign up for the class at thedreamunlocked.com. I'll write it in the notes. The Dream, all one word, thedreamunlocked.com. You can sign up for the class. We walk you through the 9 times fast technique. 30 minutes, you're off book, which is what you need for on camera. And you need to be off book by rote, not by attaching actions to a line, right? And in that class, folks who were on time and who signed up and got their little slots and we gave them sides, we worked sides with them in that class. So you'll get to see that. You'll get to see us redirecting. You'll get to see us teach them the 9 times fast memorization technique and watch how it unfolds and allows you to listen and respond and be fluid and loose and present for the camera. So please sign up for that class and get on in there, because that technique has saved lives. You know, we got to send our kids to college on that TV money. And to give people a little perspective, I don't know what other people need, but you know, I have Afro-Caribbean parents and Afro-Latino first-generation parents who are like, you need to be making a living. So, and 3 aunties who are like, we wash floors when you go to private school. I need for you to be making a living. Not for me, for you. So I did some research. And Miguel Matos is an amazing client of mine who's in the Badass Active Group. He posted a great post in the Badass Active Group. You guys should look for it. Maybe I'll pin it to the top, about how many television shows, movies, and films and the number of roles are being shot in LA and New York right now. He goes through a whole list. It's a fantastic list. And he lays out salaries. So just so you get an idea, right? When people tell me I can't pay for a $499 class, I can't pay. Now I can understand you can't pay $500 an hour to coach with me privately. That is for my clients who are on TV shows. Got it, right? Who have me on call 24/7. But the stuff that I give out in the free classes, you could be doing. And if you can't, you can take the class for $147 a month. For a down payment for a class, it's $499. Need 2 casting directors, have 2 teachers coach you 1-to-1 for 5 weeks, and then you slay. You learn the technique. So I'm not understanding what that's about. But anyway, we only got now 3 spaces left. And Melissa and Antoinette and Shona is in that. And then Tiffany and Valois are about the 12 step. And so they are going to be ready to go June 4th. And the 12 step is essentially everything that I have ever taught encapsulated in 12 master classes for a year, and then 3 mini classes every month. So the 12 step class, you get unstuck. You get my 16-hour class. Get unstuck, move into TV and film with on-camera classes. You get how to be a motherfucking actor this pilot season, how to become a series regular and brand yourself in marketing, what's your emotional type and how can it double your auditions. What else is there? Get on the path to pilot season. It's like 8 or 9 classes that were all 4-week classes. That's what you get with the 12 step. You get recordings of those classes, and then once a month you can hop on office hours with me and ask me questions. It's self-guided. It's $29.99 a month. So when people tell me I got no money, I'm not charging you on it. So let me break it down for you. You got 4 lines, okay, on Blacklist. They can't pay you less than $1,000 for the day. You got a costume fitting. You got to get paid for that. You're going to go in overtime. So at the very least, you're going to come home about $1,600, $1,700. Then after Blacklist airs, okay, you still with me? It's going to rerun in the next 6 to 8 weeks. You're going to get another check for like $1,200, $1,300. And then it's going to go to Netflix and it's going to go to demand, and it's going to go to Hulu, and every time it airs, you can get another check for 500, 600, 700. So by the end of the year, that one day of work is going to make you at least $15,000 in residuals. So when people tell me, I can't afford a class, I was like, can you afford to continue doing what you're doing, which is starting? I mean, if what you're doing right now is working for you, go with that. But after making TV money, I realized that what I was doing here in New York City was not working, right? So that's a day player. If you're a guest star, they've got to meet your quote, which means whatever you worked for last time, they got to come up a little bit more, right? Great. If you are a guest star for the entire episode, what they call top of show, which is what I just was for Bull on CBS. Top of show means your credits come at the top of the show, right after the famous producer, Steven Spielberg, my name. I was like, nicely done. Great. But also, they hold you for 8 days. They pay you for those whole 8 days. You might only work 3. The minimum is $8,400 that they can pay you for them 8 days, of which you work 2 or 3. And each day, you only work 3 or 4 hours. Okay. All right. Then you're going to go into overtime. And they got to pay you time and a half of whatever your rate is. And your rate, of course, is at least $1,400, $1,300 a day. Hey, look here. At the end of the day, you go home with $13,000, $14,000. And agents, it's plus 10%, right? So you're not paying at top of show. You're not paying your agents out of your salary. All right. So yeah, I was booked out for 8. I worked for 4 days. It's $12,000. Like, hey, sign me up, right? And costume fittings. Great. Recurrings? Depends. Depends on what they pay you for episode. If you're a series regular, they can't pay you less than $25K to start. I said $25,000 for episode. And it takes 8 days to shoot an episode. Somebody pay you $25,000 for 8 days of work? Okay. So, I'm not trying to hear all that about money. If you want to do this game the way this game is played, the level at which this game is played, the level at which I coach my clients who are now on TV and film, who the levels are high, right? Were they paying me a lot of money every month and starving? Hello, they surely were. Hi, Sheila. They surely were. They was paying me a lot of money that I was buying my mama an apartment with. So to coach them. But one episode took care of 10 private coaching sessions that I was doing, plus paid off all their bills that they ain't paid for the last year, plus they can take a vacation. Angela Lewis is currently in Mexico because she's on hiatus from being the series regular on Snowfall on FX. Okay. Was she starving here in New York? Yes. So I told her to get the hell out of New York City and get your ass to Los Angeles and become a movie star. And she was like, I said, now. And then call me when you get there and we'll coach. And now she's a TV star. A few sessions. And Angela Lewis took classes with me and took the free classes and got her brand and her technique down. And within a year, she had a TV show and movie offers. So you got to decide what you're going to star for. You got to decide. Because right now, most New York actors are starving to do plays, to play a role. Great. That's good. That's good. There's nothing honorable in not being paid what you're worth. Nothing at all. That's just called slavery. You deserve to be paid what you're worth. And that's some of the first work that I do with my clients, because we have to move this mindset out of the way where we feel like we're not deserving. And how do I know you feel that way? I sent out an email last night. I sent out a newsletter about what I'm up to, and the aha moment that I had is that the outer reality in which you live is a direct manifestation of your inner set of personal truths. The outer reality is a direct manifestation of your inner reality. So, if you will say, I want to be working in TV and film, that's what your mouth says, but the reality is you doing play readings, then the inner truth is that you don't really want to be doing TV. You want to be doing plays. Now, why ever that